Why are there not more people talking about what the world was really like in 1 BC? Imagine a world where time was marked by kings and seasons, not calendars. In 1 BC, vast empires like Rome and Han China dominated, their influence stretching across continents. Rome's legions marched from Britain to Syria, while the Han dynasty rivaled Rome in power and innovation. India was a patchwork of kingdoms, laying cultural foundations that would last millennia. In the Americas, civilizations thrived, unknown to the Old World. Trade routes by camel and ship linked distant peoples, carrying not just goods, but ideas and beliefs. Most people were farmers, their lives shaped by the land and distant rulers. Yet, even the smallest communities were part of a larger, interconnected story. Taxes, wars, and shared myths bound them to empires they'd never see. The year 1 BC was a moment of stability, but also of underlying tension. Humanity stood on the edge of a new age, with the seeds of global change quietly taking root. This was the world on the eve of transformation. I bet you didn't know just how much power and politics shaped the world in 1 BC. If you know everything about history, subscribe. In 1 BC, Rome was the West's superpower, emerging from civil war into the Pax Romana. At its center was Caesar Augustus, first citizen, but wielding absolute authority. Augustus maintained the illusion of the old republic, but real power was his alone. His reign brought monumental building projects and reforms, shaping Rome for centuries. The Roman legions, stationed across the empire, enforced order and spread Roman culture. Service in the army offered adventure, citizenship, and land, binding diverse peoples to Rome. Daily life in Rome was vibrant and chaotic. Luxury for the elite, crowded insulae for the poor. Bread and circuses kept the masses content, while Augustus's system ensured stability. This blend of power, military might, and social control defined Rome's success in 1 BC. The empire was at its zenith, but change was always on the horizon. Rome's formula for control would echo through history. I bet you didn't know how powerful the empires of the East were in 1 BC. In the East, the Han dynasty ruled China with a sophisticated bureaucracy and advanced technology. Emperor Ai's reign was marked by court intrigue, but Han China remained a center of innovation: paper, seismographs, and iron casting. Cities like Chang'an were vast and organized, rivaling Rome in grandeur. India, meanwhile, was a mosaic of kingdoms: Kushan in the north, maritime powers in the south. These states controlled key trade routes and fostered the spread of Buddhism. The era saw the compilation of Hindu epics and the evolution of new Buddhist schools. India's kingdoms were dynamic crossroads of trade and culture. Across Asia, religious and cultural creativity flourished, shaping the region for centuries. The East was not just Rome's rival, but its equal in complexity and influence. The world of 1 BC was truly interconnected. Why are there not more people talking about the incredible transformation of Egypt under Roman rule? By 1 BC, Egypt was Rome's prized possession, its grain feeding the empire's heart. Augustus ruled Egypt directly, ensuring its wealth flowed to Rome. For most Egyptians, daily life along the Nile changed little. Ancient rhythms endured. Greek remained the language of administration, but Roman taxes were harsh and efficient. Egypt became a cultural melting pot. Ancient gods, Greek customs, and Roman art blended. The cult of Isis spread across the empire, and art like the Fayum portraits fused traditions. Alexandria thrived as a cosmopolitan hub of trade and learning, its library still legendary. Egypt was both a bridge and a prize, linking Rome to the east. In 1 BC, it stood as a beacon of commerce and culture. What's something people don't know about daily life in 1 BC? Daily life in 1 BC was shaped by family, food, and tradition. In Rome, the paterfamilias ruled the household. In China, Confucian values guided family life. Agriculture defined diets. Romans ate bread, olives, and wine. Chinese ate millet or rice with vegetables and pork. Clothing signaled status. togas for Roman citizens, silk robes for China's elite, simple tunics for commoners. Beliefs were woven into life. Romans honored a pantheon of gods, while Chinese practiced ancestor worship and Taoism. Religion offered comfort and explained the world, guiding moral behavior. Marriages were arranged, children valued, and social roles clear. Despite differences, family and faith united people across continents. The ordinary person's world was small, but their lives echoed the values of great civilizations. Food, fashion, and family were the threads of daily existence. These simple routines connected millions in the ancient world. Why are there not more people talking about how trade routes shaped the ancient world? 1 BC was a golden age of ancient trade, with the Silk Road linking east and west. Caravans carried silk from China to Rome, while Roman gold and glass travelled east. The Indian Ocean trade thrived, with spices, textiles, and exotic goods moving on monsoon winds. Alexandria was the gateway for Eastern luxuries into the Roman world. Technological progress was steady. Romans built roads, aqueducts, and massive structures with concrete. Han China led in innovation. Paper, steel, and the sternpost rudder revolutionized their world. These advances didn't spread quickly, but they shaped civilizations for centuries. Trade routes carried more than goods. They spread knowledge and technology. The world was connected by ambition, curiosity, and commerce. In 1 BC, global exchange was transforming societies. The seeds of future revolutions were already sown. I don't think people understand just how much ideas were on the move in 1 BC. Trade routes were highways for ideas as well as goods. Greek philosophy shaped Roman thought. Stoicism, logic, and ethics guided the elite. In the East, Buddhism spread along the Silk Road, blending with local traditions. Gandhara's art fused Greek and Buddhist styles, creating the first human images of the Buddha. India compiled foundational Hindu texts. In Judea, debates about faith and prophecy intensified. Societies codified beliefs even as new ideas challenged old certainties. The world's intellectual climate was dynamic and volatile. These exchanges set the stage for future religious and cultural revolutions. In 1 BC, ideas were on the move, reshaping civilizations. If you think you know everything about history, you need to hear this. And if you truly love uncovering the past, subscribe for more. 1 BC was more than just another year. It was a turning point. Great empires like Rome and Han China stood at their peak, but change loomed. Their stability fostered trade, culture, and innovation, but also hid growing tensions. According to tradition, this was the era of Jesus' birth, a quiet event that would reshape history. Christianity would soon challenge old religions and transform the Western world. 1 BC marks the end of the classical age and the dawn of a new era. It was a world at its height, yet on the verge of monumental change. Looking back, we see the achievements and the seeds of upheaval. The world of 1 BC reminds us how history turns on quiet moments. It was the threshold of the world we know today.